You're listening to Player Development, a channel focused on the intersection of sports and character growth. Please like and subscribe to support the stories being shared, the growth of our listeners, and to stay up to date with our latest content.
Alright guys, so I was just reading about the Paralympics today, and I learned a new term. And I don't know if this is something that's been around that people know and I'm just new to it. But I thought I would introduce the concept and talk about it in light of what we've talked about before in our relationship with sports. And that concept is called inspiration porn. It's a deliberately provocative term. It was coined by a writer named Stella Young, and talking about usually the way that we frame disabled athletes or Paralympic athletes especially only in light of their disabilities. Again, this is framing in light of our relationship with sports. And so we've talked about this dichotomy between sports as entertainment or sports as escape. And we really honed in previously on how if we view sports as an escape, then we have our own scripts. The world is ugly and messy, and so sports should be pure and should be inspirational and should let us escape from the messiness of our normal lives. And so we start fitting athletes, fitting teams, but especially we lose the individualism in sports. We lose the stories that people have personally in favor of what we want their stories to mean, what we want their achievements to mean for us, so that we can feel good, so that we can escape from the ugliness of life around us. And so the forms that this take when talking about Paralympic athletes, for example, is that we only talk about their achievements and their physical feats in light of the disabilities or the setbacks or the challenges that they've suffered in that realm. And so while it looks very positive on the outside, we're glorifying them, we're putting them up as models and examples, they come to only be defined by their disability instead of by their feats. All of their achievements are in light of what they've suffered or what they were born with or whatever. And so I heard about this term in a New York Times article, and so some of the interviewees, Paralympians, were talking about how it bothers them because they get to only be defined by their disability and not by their athletic achievements. And it becomes depersonalizing, and this is where the term inspiration porn comes in, is that porn was deliberately selected because it talks about the objectification of one group of people for the benefit of another. And so the idea is that when we only view these athletes in light of their disability or in light of how they were born or what accidents they suffered, they are being objectified for the benefit of able-bodied people. And the flip side of that is that it actually stigmatizes disability more. It becomes this big, terrible thing that we should avoid at all costs, because look at what these people had to go through just to get to this point. And it minimizes their own accomplishments too, because the flip side of saying, wow, this person's amazing because, they're blind or they're missing a leg, is that basically we end up saying on the flip side, oh, if they had all of their limbs or if they could see, their achievements would be less spectacular or they would be less amazing. And so the bottom line is that the exaggerated respect that some of these athletes will get because of their disability feels depersonalizing and dehumanizing for them, as if they need that extra respect or they need that extra support when they are very capable people and have worked very hard to get to this point, and we're only giving them that respect because they might look different from us or their bodies work differently from ours. I'll be honest, this is a difficult topic to talk about. There's not a lot of widely available discourse, or it's not publicized in the same way as discourse about able-bodied athletes. And so I would love any feedback, comments, questions, further discussion about this topic and how we talk about Paralympians and differently able-bodied athletes. Because this is something that's new to me, something that's foreign to me. So I'm welcoming any comments or commentary about how we can shape our language as sports consumers, especially around the time of the Paralympics, or just talking about these athletes in general. So comment below, like and subscribe for more of these discussions, and I look forward to the conversation.